It began with a late-night email marked high priority, addressed to a select few within Kensington Palace. The sender? Prince William himself. The subject line read. Protocol update, Sussex security parameters. Hidden halfway through. The message was a line that would ripple across the monarchy. Harry's emotional stability is uncertain. My children's exposure must be limited. Consider all contact a matter of security. According to sources inside the palace, the email was never intended for broad circulation. But it leaked. And when it did, it painted a sharp, unexpected portrait. William was no longer seeing his brother as merely estranged. He saw him as a potential risk to his own children. One insider described the atmosphere as shocked, but resigned. For years, William and Harry had shared everything. But that night, something broke. A prominent royal commentator noted, "This isn't sibling tension. This is a future monarch drawing a hard line." But what drove William to this moment? According to two high-level aides, the turning point came during a family video call in June 2025, initially meant to plan a joint public initiative. What began as a cordial exchange spiraled unexpectedly. During the call, Harry allegedly said, "Your children are already in the system, Will. You're too close to see it. One day they'll turn on you for it." William reportedly paused, ended the call, and within the hour, drafted the now infamous email. That one sentence about the children triggered something. Former palace advisor explained, "There are lines even feuding royals don't cross. You never pull the children into it. That's the rule." William, according to a trusted source, was alarmed by what he interpreted not as concern, but as a subtle threat masked in familial worry. He allegedly told aides, "If this is how he speaks about my children now, how far will he go?" From that moment, internal protocols began to change. Behind closed doors, William summoned a small group, senior advisors, the head of royal protection, and a child welfare specialist. His directive was clear. All future Sussex interactions involving George, Charlotte, and Louis were to be filtered through security. No spontaneous contact, no unsupervised communication, every detail vetted. A royal security consultant described it as a move rooted in caution, not animosity. You don't wait for the worst-case scenario, you prevent it. Emotional instability, they added, isn't always about physical danger. It's also about psychological influence, and that's what the palace feared most. According to a redacted internal report, MI6 had already noted patterns in Harry's private discussions. Concerns were growing about the prince's comments on how the monarchy affects children, and whether those views could be used against the institution. There's a reputational risk here, one analyst warned. It's not just to the family, but to the crown's future narrative. In effect, William's concerns extended beyond safety. They were about influence, subtle messaging that might destabilize how his children view their future roles. This wasn't just about keeping Harry away physically. It was about safeguarding legacy and psychological well-being. One insider put it bluntly, William doesn't fear his brother hurting his kids. He fears Harry shaping how they see their place in the world. After the incident, Harry's access was silently revoked. What little informal connection he had left with his nieces and nephews was gone. Where once there were birthday video calls and brief holiday check-ins, now there was a wall and a system that treated him as a risk factor. Some inside the palace weren't surprised. "We'd been watching this shift happen for years," a senior staffer admitted. The only surprise was how long William waited to formalize it. Others quietly expressed relief, believing Harry had crossed too many invisible boundaries. A security consultant likened the new protocol to installing a firewall after repeated close calls. "It's not about punishment," they said. "It's about preventing an internal breach." The most revealing insight came from a long-serving royal aide who whispered, "The kids are William's line, his duty. You don't get near them unless he believes you should," and Harry just lost that trust. It all shifted when Prince William put pen to paper in a confidential email. Those close to the palace say it wasn't written out of anger, it was written out of alarm. Even longtime supporters of Prince Harry privately admitted this was different. Over at Sussex HQ, many who usually defend Harry voiced concern. Bringing up the kids in that way, it's just not right. one said. The moment had crossed an invisible line. Plans for a joint appearance in August, a public show of unity for a veterans charity, were abruptly shelved. Quietly behind the scenes, it was called off indefinitely. Sources close to royal planning say William no longer felt comfortable having Harry involved. It was no longer about a temporary disagreement. It was a structural divide. At the heart of this shift were Prince George, Princess Charlotte, Prince Louis. According to insiders, William's concern wasn't about direct harm, it was about emotional influence. A child development consultant tied to Palace's policy explained it simply. Kids are incredibly receptive. If someone begins to plant subtle doubts about their role or future, that can shape them for life. Thinking had turned to long-term impact. His private conversation with a senior advisor, reportedly in early July, gave a glimpse into his mindset. "I don't want George growing up believing his uncle despises what he's meant to become," he said. According to the source, William was measured but deeply emotional. The issue was now personal on a level few had expected. One of the turning points came when Harry, during a media appearance, remarked, "I want my children to live free, not caught in the same trap we were." Though vague, the message was seen as a jab at royal parenting, and by extension, William's choices. Observers say that appearance may have cemented William's decision, a palace insider explained. It's not just about protection, it's about preserving their sense of identity as future heirs. William's role as a father has now overtaken his role as a brother. The email, once leaked, triggered reactions across royal circles. Princess Catherine was reportedly shocked by the wording, but stood behind her husband, telling him if it's about keeping them safe, then it's the right decision. Even King Charles, despite concerns, chose not to intervene, still dealing with his own health matters. Insiders say Charles prefers not to be pulled into another dispute between his sons. He's stepping back, a senior aide confirmed. This is William's call now. Harry's reaction, however, was reportedly one of disbelief and fury. A source close to the Sussex camp said he felt blindsided. What stung wasn't the decision, it was the word threat. That term changes the entire conversation. In private, Harry allegedly described the rift as beyond fixing. Commentators didn't miss the implication. William didn't call Harry a risk. He called him a threat. That word carries weight, particularly within palace walls. One royal expert put it this way: that term suggests unpredictability, possibly danger. Not physically, but emotionally. And for someone like William, that's everything. The public fallout was swift. The story lit up headlines, and supporters took sides. On one hand, William was praised for prioritizing his children's well-being. On the other, critics accused him of casting Harry in an unforgivable light. One royal supporter wrote, "When you're a parent, your duty is to protect, full stop." Meanwhile, defenders of Harry argued, calling your brother a threat, it's a step you can't undo. A BBC flash poll revealed that 62% of the public sided with William's decision to set new access boundaries. Only 24% believed he had gone too far. The rest remained uncertain, but all agreed. The family bond had taken a serious blow, even public. Figures joined the conversation. A former royal nanny weighed in. Once children are involved, you create firm lines. William isn't being cruel, he's being cautious. As for Meghan Markle, her silence was viewed as deliberate. Royal analysts interpreted her quiet stance as strategic. She knows anything she says will reignite the spotlight and possibly the blame, one PR expert stated. Staying silent is her smartest move right now, still sources close. To the Sussexes believe this entire situation has been engineered to harm Harry's reputation. This isn't just about boundaries. It's about framing Harry as dangerous, and that narrative sticks, said one insider. It's personal, and it's public. Within days, Prince William's leaked email had escalated into a full-scale royal rupture. Plans for a discreet family gathering at Windsor were suddenly called off. The atmosphere, according to insiders, would have been far too tense. Would have been unbearable, said one aide. No one wanted Harry and William under the same roof. Even Kate, though visibly affected, stood firm. According to a close friend, she quietly remarked, "Our children's safety will always come first, no matter the consequences." At Windsor, reports confirmation came that the event was canceled at the 11th hour. Sources suggest it was William himself who insisted Harry stay away from George, Charlotte, and Louis. #royal line drawn. But the consequences weren't confined to the family. The ripple effect hit royal staff as well. Entry rules across palace properties were suddenly tightened. As one official put it, a new atmosphere of quiet distancing had begun, not just from Harry, but from anyone seen to be in his circle. "This is about keeping control," said one palace insider. "No loopholes, no unexpected appearances. This isn't just a pause. It's the new normal." Meanwhile, Harry reportedly feels more cut off than ever. A friend from the Sussex camp revealed he's struggling with a sense of abandonment. Private, he's said to have confessed, "William's not my brother anymore. He's turned this into something political." Observers now argue this could be the most devastating royal fracture in decades. Far beyond the fallout of Megxit in 2020, this moment feels more final, one expert explained. That was a departure from duties. This is a personal rejection. William no longer trusts Harry near his children. It's a very different level of break. A veteran royal watcher from the Crown Journal summed it up simply: 2020 was a goodbye. 2025 feels like a banishment. It's a stunning reversal of history. The two brothers who once walked solemnly behind Princess Diana's coffin are now distanced not just by geography or titles, but by deeper forces: fear, mistrust, and the instinct to protect their legacies. The emotional wall between them wasn't built overnight, but it stands now, tall and immovable, not forged by royal tradition, but by love for children and the fear of unseen damage. A wall many believe may never come down.